Well, hello everybody. It's Topher from the Dapper Boys, and I just wanted to check in with you. I'm making this little video because of our cancer group that we're a part of. I know that some of us have been on this group a while, and then I also know that there's some new people coming in every day. Our family keeps growing, unfortunately, but we have to find the good in everything, no matter how small. So, with that in mind, I just wanted to give you a little idea of optimism. That's what we'll talk about. And I have had so many private friend requests from members of this group that we're really connecting and helping each other, and we do look out for each other every day, and we have to do that. I mean, we're kind of all in this together, depending on where it was located, but a lot of us are still going through the same effects and feelings and emotions and additional treatments and that sort of thing. I want to tell you right now, don't give up. I want you to be inspired. You know why? Because I have to look at what happened to me having squamous cell carcinoma, HPV, stage 4, with radical tonsillectomy. My esophagus was completely scraped. I had 59 lymph nodes removed. 3 of those had cancer in them as well. I had a lymph node that had cancer in it wrapped around part of my carotid artery that they had to completely scrape and remove. So during that time, and I had that surgery, I literally, they can't just go in and do surgery and put like a skin graft or stretch it and connect it together. I literally had, by the time I was finally able to open my mouth enough that I could shine a flashlight into it, you could see in the back of my throat and literally see my carotid artery and the blood flowing. It took months for that to slowly heal over. That brings me to PEG tubes or G tubes or feeding tubes. People keep calling them different things. I call a G tube or a PEG tube the one that goes into your stomach, and it's fed by either gravity or that you have a pump. Yes, I had that, and I had it done prior because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to swallow for a long time because of how radical the surgeries were going to be. Plus, I had 33 radiation and 6 chemos. Lost a total of about 90 pounds. Gained afterwards. After about the 3rd, 4th month after chemo and radiation is when things started really picking up. I was starting to swallow simple foods that were pureed or that sort of thing. I still had to be careful about not using metal spoons because of the metallic taste that you get. But that slowly wears off. And you also have to wait for your taste buds to start coming back in. And I'm an example that sometimes they get confused and they came back in the wrong place. So where I tasted salty before, I now taste sweet. Where I tasted sweet, now I taste salty. It's strange, but it's my new normal, and that's how I look at it. And I find the good in it and make the best of it and keep moving forward, because you know what? It's been over 3.5 years post now since my treatment ended, and I'm still here. Can you believe it? I mean, I'm a survivor, and I wouldn't have been able to have made it if it wasn't for the help of my family and friends and you guys. So I want you to know how important I feel this group really is. And I think that we shouldn't be afraid to ask odd, strange questions. Granted, if you don't know what chemo brain is and you've had it or getting it or going to get it, trust me, you'll know soon. I call it chemo brain humor, because basically it takes out your internal filter. You know, the voice inside your head that talks to you that no one else hears? One of the side effects I found is that I don't know the difference now. So what my brain thinks is what my brain says. And I find things funny now in very strange and weird ways. And it's quite comical. I seem to be the life of the party when I'm around. But I look past it. I have issues with memory. And I have, issues with my mobility. And that's a whole special reason why I joined this group, is because I'm trying to find other people like me. As I said, I lost about 90 pounds. And after the 3-month recovery, I started eating foods. I got to the point that I was eating or swallowing normally. Well, there's no such thing as swallowing normally now. It's how I swallow. That's a better way to put it. I'm able to get things down. I switched to the point that I was being able to put in more by mouth than I was by tube. I weaned myself off to where I wasn't using the tube. I proved to my doctors, I did 3 months, that I showed them I'm not using the tube and I'm gaining weight and I'm ready to get the tube out, because I just wanted it gone. It's not that it hurt. It was like having a newborn child again and carrying my baby girl around my hip all the time. Sometimes they don't listen, and sometimes they get in the way, and you just got to make do and do what's right to keep them safe. Well, that's what I did with the tube. But I was ready to let it go. So I was able to have my tube taken out, and things were going really well. And then we noticed that my thyroid was becoming hyperactive. So I I was put on thyroid medication. We've adjusted it over the past couple of years, and now all my blood work on a regular basis shows normal, or within range. So I'm good to go with the thyroid meds and everything. However, my metabolism, after my stomach tube was removed, peg tube, feeding tube, G-tube, whatever you want to call it, I was doing good. I got this great burst of energy and vitality about life again. And I overdid it. I was feeling so great and so good that I wore myself out and my body started crashing. And what I learned was I was starving to death. So my metabolism somehow has been affected, and it has caused it to go out the roof to the point that I am now diagnosed as a world anomaly. And that anomaly is I have such an extreme metabolism rate that I now have to consume roughly around 20,000 calories per 24 hours in order to try to maintain 138 pounds, which right now I'm at 136. So I've lost 2 pounds, even though I'm doing 20,000 a day. And I don't eat a lot of human foods. Anything on a healthy diet I can eat if it's been steamed or real well or anything. And I'll even add lots of butter, heavy cream, anything to get extra fat in. But the problem with it is healthy foods, you don't gain weight. So my literal direction from multiple physicians around the world, until they can figure out how to slow down my metabolism, is do as little as possible, eat and consume as much fat and calories as possible, and gain weight. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But 20,000 calories would be enough for how many? A family of how many per day? Okay, so let's talk about how I get those calories. I drink 1 gallon of whole milk per day, and in that gallon of whole milk, I'll add powdered milk. That adds extra calories and fat. I use Carnation Instant Breakfast powder mix, vanilla flavor. It's the only one I can use because the strawberry and the chocolate versions have to have added an extra ingredient of talc-like powder to it, and it's a bonding agent for the chocolate and the strawberry flavors to be enhanced to work in the shake. Well, that sticks. Can't drink it, can't get it down. It will choke me. The vanilla, however, I can. A box comes with 10 packs, and I drink 3 boxes per day, with probably between 2, 4, and 6 bananas a day, blended in with those shakes. Oh, and by the way, the 20,000 people always want to know, how do you get that much in? Would you be freaked out to know that I eat every 2 hours around the clock? Before I go to bed, which is usually around 9:30 at night, I'll drink and do 4,500 calories in shake. And I go to bed. By midnight, my dog either wakes me up trying to tell me there's something in the bed, or it's me myself hearing my stomach growling because I'm starving to death. So I get up in the night, I go down, I make another shake, I go back to bed for another 2.5 hours, maybe if I'm lucky, and I do that all the way until 4:30 to 5 a.m. Well, about 4:30 a.m. At that point in time, I can't have any more shakes until after 6 a.m. because I have to take my thyroid on an empty stomach. I know it only takes 2 hours to get food out of my system, so that's what I do. As soon as my thyroid medication's taken, I wait 30 minutes. I have my cup of coffee, which is actually a lot of heavy cream with sugar with a little brown in it to make it look like coffee. But I do like the smell and the flavor. And again, flavors are coming back, and coffee was one of them that I can. Tea, I cannot do.